Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you each and everyone for our new lesson, lesson 16, round decimals. Our objectives for today: by the end of the lesson, students should be able to round decimals to different places. Okay, uh, let's start with tens place. If I want to ask a student to round to the nearest what? Nearest um, nearest whole number. Yeah, nearest whole number. Yes. Okay. Let's draw here a number line. Yes, this is here a number line, and we are going to number it here. Let's make here, for example, 3, and here is, yes, let's make 4. Okay, so it's supposed to be cut it to 10 equal parts. So let's say that here is 3.1, then 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, 3.5, 3.6, 3.7, 3.8, 3.9. Then let's make 4 is here. Yeah, after 3.9 is 4. Here we have 10 equal parts from 3 till 4. So if I'm asking you about 3.1, this number, is it close to the 3 or it's more closer to the 4? 3.1, yes, it's closer to be what? To be 3. Yes, it's closer to the 3. What about 3.2? The same, it's close to 3. 3.3 and 3.4 as well. All of these numbers are close to the 3. But by starting from 3.5, 3.6, 3.7, 3.8, and 3.9, all of those are closer to 4. Okay, so if I'm asking you to round starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, you are keeping the whole number as it is. The 3 will stay 3 in case of 1, 2, 3, and 4. Actually, we are naming the 1, 2, 3, and 4, it's a weak number. Since it's a weak number, so I'm going to make the whole number to be the same, which is 3. 3.1 is closer to 3. 3.2 is closer to 3. 3.3 and 3.4 is closer to 3. But starting from 3.5 for the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, actually we are naming those digits with a strong numbers. Since it's a strong number, we are adding here is 1. So the 3 will become 4 in case of 3.5 up to 3.9. Okay, let's take another question here. If I'm asking you to do rounding to the nearest whole number for 4.8, and he underlined for you the ones place, this is rounding to the nearest whole number. So the answer, is it 4 or 5? In this case, to do rounding, the answer is 5. Why? Because 8 is a strong number. Because of this, we are going to add a 1. But in case that you have another example is saying round to the nearest whole number, here is 4 decimal point 2, and he underlined for you the 4. In this case, the 4 will stay 4, or it's going to be 5. The answer is will stay 4. Why it's 4? Because this 2 is a weak number, so the 4 will stay the same 4. This is to round to the nearest whole number. To the nearest what? Whole number type. To do rounding to the nearest tens, okay? Round to the nearest tens place. Yes. Nearest tens, he will underline for you the tens place. Like what? Let's write here 3 decimal point 78, and he's going to underline the tens place. Here is the tens place. So I'm going to ask myself about 8. Is 8 a strong or weak? Since it's a strong, so I'm going to add 1. So 1 and 7 is 8, and keep the decimal and keep the 3 as it is. So my answer is 3.8. Okay, another one to the nearest tens. If I have 4 decimal point, let's say 72. Where is my tens place? Let's underline it here. So I'm going to ask myself about 2. Is it strong or weak? It's a weak number, so the 7 will stay 7, and the 4 I will just copy it. So the answer is 4 decimal point 7, or 4 and 7 tenths. Okay, type a third question. I have here 4 decimal point 7 5 2, and he's asking to underline round to the nearest tens. So here is the nearest tens. Let's use another color. Okay, tens place. So one student will tell me, teacher, the 2 is weak. No, I'm asking myself about the number which is beside the tens place. Here is the tens place, which is 7. Which number, which digit is beside 7? 5. So ask yourself about 5, not about 2. 5 is a strong or weak? Yeah, it's a strong, so I'm going to add 1. So 1 and 7 is 8, and here decimal point, and here is 4. So the answer is 4 and 8 tenths. All of this round to the nearest tens place. Okay, the same if he's asking to round to the nearest hundreds. Round to the nearest hundreds. Okay, like what? Let's take an example. Okay, let's say that we have 14 decimal point 279. Where is my hundreds place? Yeah, exactly the 7. So I'm going to ask myself about 7. Is it strong or weak? The answer is strong. So I'm going to add 1. So 1 and 7 is 8. Here is 2, just copy it. Here is 4. Here is 1. So the answer is 14 and 28 hundredths. Another one, if I have 8 decimal point 429, yeah, in this case, here is the hundredths place. The 9 is strong. I will add 1. So 1 and 2, 3, and here 4, and here is 8. 8 and 43 from which family? From the hundredths family. Third one, if we have here 7 decimal point 297 4, yeah. In this case, I will underline the 9 because it's the hundredths place. I will look to the 7. I don't care about 4. I will have a look over the number which is beside the underlying digit. 7 is strong or weak? It's a strong, so I will add 1. 1 plus 29 is 30. So the answer is 7 and 30 hundredths. Okay. Now let's go to our book. Here we have from question number 3 to 10. We have here to round each number to the place of the underlying digit. Here he underlined for us the ones place, so he needed to the nearest whole number. So I'm going to ask myself about, yes, about 5. Let's change the color. 5 is a strong or weak? It's a strong, so I will add 1. So the 16.5 is going to be, yes, 17. Question number 4, he underlined the whole number. Yes, the ones place. 1 is a week, so the answer is 56. 6 will stay 6 because 1 is weak. Here he underlined the 3, so the 2 is weak, so the 3 will stay 3 and decimal point, and here is 1, so 1 and 3/10. Here 42 and 78 hundredths, he needed to the nearest tenth, so here 8 is a strong, I'm going to add 1. 1 and 7 is 8, decimal point 2, then 4, so the answer is 42 and 8/10. This one he needed to the nearest, yes, here hundredths, so I'm going to ask myself about 2. 2 is weak, so 5 the same, 5. 6 decimal point 1, so 1 and 65 hundredths. Now question number 8, he's asking us to round to the nearest tens. 4 is weak, so the 0 will stay 0, and here is 582 and 0/10. Here is, he's asking to round it to the nearest hundredths, so I will ask myself about 5, so it's a strong, so I will add 1. 1 and 4 is 5, then just copy the others. 6 decimal 7 4 5 comma 0 8 80,547 65 hundredths. The same here. Let's move this a little bit. Yes. Okay, here he's asking to round it to the nearest, yes, tens. So I'm asking myself about 4, not about 9. The 9, I don't care about this 9. So 4 is weak, so the 9 will stay 9. Then decimal point 1 0 7 comma 5 3 1. Let's read it. 135,701 and 9/10. Okay. Let's go to the next question. Here is, he's asking about question number 1. To round 74 and 58 hundredths to the nearest tens. Here is the tens place. Okay. Which digit do you look at? What is 74 and 58 rounded to the nearest tens? Actually, I will look at the 8. Here 8 is a strong, so I'm going to add 1. 1 and 5 is 6 because 8 is a strong, and copy the 4, copy the 7. So the rounded number is 74 and 6/10. Okay. Next question, question 11. Round decimal to the nearest whole number. Whole number means, yes, ones place. Ones place. Ones place. Ones place. So 4.5 is going to be 4 or 5. The answer is 5 because 5 is a strong. 57 will be 57 or 58. The answer is 57. Why? Because the 3 is a weak. 34 will be 34 or 35. The answer is 35 because 7 is a strong. What about 3 and 1? I don't care. 215 will be 215 or 216. The answer is 215. Why? Because I will look at, yes, the 3. What about 9? I don't care about 9. Just I care about the number which is beside the ones place, which is 3. 3 is weak, so the 5 will stay 5, 215. Yes. Now question number 15 to 18. Round, yes, here, round each number to the place of the underlying digit. since he underlined here the digit in question number 15, he underlined the tens digit. So we are going, yes, to make it 7.1 or 7.2 because it's to the tens digit. So is it 7.1 or 7.2? It's depend on the number which is beside the tens digit, which is 5. Since 5 it's a strong number, we should add 1. So the answer here is 7 and 2 tenths. Question number 16. Here we have 758 thousandths. He underlined for us the hundredths place, so it should be 0.75 or 0.76. Since 8 is a strong number, I should add 1 over the 5, so it's going to be 0 decimal point 76. It's a 76 hundredths. It's rounded to the hundredths place, as you see. In question 17, we have here 6 and 4,380 to 10 thousandths. He needs us to round it to the nearest, yes, hundredths. So I will look at the number which is beside, which is 8. It's a strong, so I'm going to add 1 over the 3. So it's going to be 6 and, yes, 44 hundredths. Question 18. The number which is beside 7 here is 3. 3 is a weak number, so the 7 will stay 7, so it's going to be 84 decimal point 7. It's 84 and 7 tenths. It's rounded to the nearest tens place. Okay. Now let's go to next question, question number 19. Math practice and problem solving. The picture at the right shows the length of an average American alligator. What is the length of the alligator rounded to the nearest tenth? Yes. Where is my 10th place? Here is my 10th place, the 3. So I'm going to circle the 9. Ask yourself, is it a weak or a strong? Yes, it's a strong. So I'm going to add 1 to the 3. So my answer is 4 decimal point 4. It's 4 and 4 tenths meters. Yes. Next question, question number 20. Name 2 different numbers that round to be 8 and 21 hundredths when you round it to the nearest hundredths. Actually, we have many, but we can mention, for example, 8 and 200, yes, and 11. Yeah, if you round it, it's going to be 8 and 21 because this one is weak. Also, we can say 8 and 200, 12, yes, because 2 is still weak. He need only 2, so that's enough. But we can add 8 and 213, it's also correct. 8 and 200, 14, it's also correct. But if you said 8 and 215, it's wrong. Why? Because this 5 will make the 1 to be rounded to be 8 and 22 hundredths. So this one is wrong. But any answer from those answers, it's okay, we can take it. And there is more as well, but it's enough to answer because he's asking here, name 2 different numbers rounded to be 8 and 21 hundredths. So we have 8 and 211 thousandths and 8 and 212 thousandths. Both of those answers can be rounded to be 8 and 21 hundredths. Now he's asking which of those numbers can be rounded to the nearest tens to be 35, yes, and 4 tenths. Let's round this one. Let's underline the tens place. 5 is strong, so this one is going to be 35 decimal point 4 or 5. Yes, exactly. It's going to be 5 because 5 is a strong. I will add 1. So is it 35.4? No. So this one is wrong. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, let's underline the tens place. 34 and 4200. Since this 2 is a week, so it's going to stay 34 decimal point 4 because 2 is weak. So it's 34 decimal point 4, not 35 decimal point 4. So this one is wrong. The third one, here we have the tens place and here we have 9, so I will add 1. So it's going to be 35 and 4 tenths. So this one is correct. The other one here, the tens place, 4 before it. What about 5? I don't care about 5, I care only about this 4. Since 4 is weak number, so it's going to be 35 and 3 tenths. I need 35 and 4 tenths. So this one is wrong. Now 35 decimal point 44. Here we have the tenths, and since the 4 is weak, so it's going to be 35 and 4 tenths. So this one is correct. Yes, the circled 2, this one and that one, are the two numbers that can be rounded to be 35 and 4. This one as well, if you want me to round it, I will underline the 0. It's going to be 35 and 0 tenths because 4 is weak. Okay, so only this one and that one. Finally, I'd like to thank you to watch this video. See you inshallah in another videos. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.